Please announce your name and your affiliation so that we can get to know you guys. Go ahead.
Well, everybody, again, I'm elated to announce the signing of Morgan Moses, a 3-year contract. Morgan's a guy that we had just talked a little while ago. Years ago, when I was really hitting the scouting circuit and traveling, I went down to Charlottesville, and I scouted Morgan and Brent Urban in the same draft class. And he's always been a player that we've admired. When I think of Morgan, thoughts that I have: big, tough, very smart, and also very durable. This is a guy that's played and started in 115 games in his career. He's a versatile guy who can play different spots, and we're excited to bring him here. It's great to sort of bring him back home to the Mid-Atlantic region, and we think he's going to have a great 3 years with us, and we just couldn't be any happier to bring him back. Jody?
Yeah, what a great pick for us right here. You know, he's a fine young man. Heard nothing but good things about him all through the league. Talked to several line coaches that have had him, and they do nothing but rave about his ability, his work ethic, how he approaches the game every day, what a pro he is on the field and off the field. And as Eric just said, look at his, he's available all the time for you. He started 7 consecutive years in a row, and without missing a game. That's huge as an offensive lineman. And the reps, no penalties out of 1,000 snaps. That's awesome. And so he's keeping your offense on the field producing. So we're excited to have Moses here, and he's going to fill a void for us in that right tackle position. So that's awesome.
Morgan?
Oh man, it's amazing, man. Obviously walking around this building with my beautiful family, my kids being able to see, they took the day off at school today. Our 7-year-old Isaiah said, he woke up this morning and said, "Daddy, it's St. Patrick's Day. We made a trap for the leprechaun at school, and I'm going to miss out." So I said, "You want to go to the Ravens facility, or you want to go chase leprechauns?" He's like, "I think we'll go to the Ravens facility." So, just being a part of this, such a historic franchise. I told my kids today before we walked down the stairs, we saw the, last home game of Ray Lewis, coming out for the introductions. And, anytime you're a part of an organization that has Hall of Fame caliber players like that, Ed Reed, you talk about Jonathan Ogden at left tackle, all these guys have played, great football over the course of their career, and you get to come here and sit in a place like this at the age I am, and going into year 9 to be able to play meaningful football is very important. But also to bring my family to a family-oriented organization. I think when you have those things aligned, it makes football a lot easier, right? Because you can just focus on football while you're here, knowing that everybody else in the building is going to take care of your family. So I'm excited to get started. Obviously, it's a blessing to be able to block for Lamar. Like my whole career, I've averaged about 5 quarterbacks a season. So to have one, just to have one, just to have one is it's amazing. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to run out the tunnel for the first time, see the fans, and just make this place home for us.
Morgan, this is James Tendencies with ESPN. Everyone talks about the durability and the ability to keep going and being out there. For you, what is the key? What has been the key for you to be able to do that?
Really just, understanding your body, that's number one, understanding your body. I had a great group of guys, older guys that kind of took me under their wing when I was young in the league. And I just started learning, taking care of my body, hot yoga, things like that. You guys are going to laugh, but I have a living personal physician, my wife, who takes care of me, with the cupping and stretching and those things, on the off day, she gets the hot bath ready with the 6 bags of Epsom salt and stuff. And so, having a support system obviously helps a lot. But just being available, man, and it's simple, man. You just don't want to let guys down. That's the thing of it. If you feel like your 70% is better than the guy behind you, you should be out there to be able to play. And I just want to be one of those guys that people can depend on and count on and show leadership qualities. And that's what's kind of driven me over my career, to just be able to be out there every game.
Grabbing Moses and grabbing a guy like Marcus Williams, how much flexibility does this give you in the draft now, as far as guys?
Yeah, that's definitely part of the process. We think of the off season as a bunch of different roads you can take, and I think to get to your destination, the more roads you can eliminate before the draft, I think the easier it is to pick the best available player. You never want to be in a position, I think, as a drafter where you're specifically drafting every pick need-based. So, the way that we envision it is we have a bunch of different holes. We try to fill some. You can't fill them all in free agency. The cost is prohibitive, but you try to eliminate some holes, and then you really laser focus with the draft, trying to assess the talent and then find the best possible players at the positions that you need, who are the best position players available at the time.
Morgan, this is Jeff Srebeck from The Athletic. What was the free agent process for you like? I know last year was a little different in the way you joined the Jets. You were in Washington for a long time. What were you looking for, and how quick did everything come about for you?
Obviously going through that process. Legend, the 3-year-old. Okay, he's not your normal 3-year-old, but he's 3. Okay, so I think first of all, any process that you get to go through in your career in your league in the NFL is a blessing, right? So, obviously getting released by Washington late, but being able to sign with the Jets, who is a mirroring organization as a family aspect, like the Ravens. We had Joe Douglas, who came from the Ravens, and he implemented that family atmosphere. So, for me, obviously going to year 9 and being able to play a lot of ball, it's not the question of, hey, can I play football? It's about how does my family fit here? Because if those things align the right way, right, football becomes easy, becomes a child game. You look at it, you're able to play out there because you're not worrying about, is my wife okay? You're not worrying about if the kid's okay. They have everything here that to take care of those things, so you can focus on the aspects of football. And then also, just going through this process and seeing the history. Obviously you see Baltimore Ravens. I've driven this highway many a times and seen it at night lit up in purple, and so, and like I said, growing up, kind of in the DMV area, you see Ray Lewis, you see Jonathan Ogden, you see Ed Reed, all these electrifying players. And, when it comes down to it, like I said, when you're in your later part of your career, you want to feel like, hey, you're playing meaningful football. So, obviously with Lamar Jackson, the pieces that they have around here, the defense, Zadarius coming back, who I have a lot of respect for as an edge rusher. You look how can I get better as I'm getting older? And, going against Zadarius every day, I know he's a hardworking guy. I played him in preseason against the Green Bay Packers in the joint practice. And that guy's going to challenge you every day. So you're going to have to bring your lunch pail to practice every day. And that's how you get better. It's sharpen iron sharpens iron. So just going through the process and combing through and just looking at it and say, hey, why not? Why not come here and play meaningful football? Why not, play in front of the 2019 MVP player of the league? You put those things together, like I said, I haven't had a stability quarterback. I've averaged 5 quarterbacks since I've been in the league every year. So being able to have a guy like that's out there that can extend plays, he's explosive, his knowledge of the game, I've heard nothing but great things, first person in, last person out. Those are the type of guys you want to be surrounded by. So when you put it all together and you put the pieces together and they fit like they're supposed to, it was an easy decision.
Morgan, congratulations, Luke Jones, WNST. You mentioned Lamar, but this offense over the last 3 years has run the ball at, especially 19 and 20 at a historic rate. I've never encountered an offensive lineman who said they like to pass block more than run blocking. So how much was that a factor too, as far as how much they run the football?
Well, when you look at it, the game plan and things like that, the league is, you look at the AFC, especially the AFC West, all the quarterbacks there. At some point, you're going to have to pass the ball, and it's good to have a balance of offensive linemen that can pass block, run block, do all those things. And it's not that I'm just, hey, I'm pass heavy, pass blocking. No, it's just, at the same time, you realize the game is changing as well. And you have to have players out there that are able to adapt, to that. And so I think, I think what I've done over the course of my career showing that, I think, getting in here and getting around the guys and learning the playbook and just running around, how hopefully the leadership qualities that I bring with myself, help the team thrive. And I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Eric, 105.7 The Fan. Morgan mentioned to Darius. I have to ask a question. You guys haven't announced it officially. Is there any update on that?
There really isn't. I think what we're trying to do is focus on these two guys, make this a special time, and I think over the coming days, I think we'll have more to say on other moves that we make.
Hey Morgan, Bobby Tarasi from WBAL. Do you have a personal expectation to be the starter at right tackle for this upcoming September? And Joe D, you kind of you alluded to that potentially being the case this upcoming fall. If so, is that a factor in your decision?
Look, I'm smart enough to know that nothing's written in ink. Obviously, this league is competitive, so you got to come out there and compete every day. And I think one thing that I've shown over my career is that, hey, I don't shy away from competition. If there's competition, I believe the best comes out of it. And at this point, man, I just enjoy playing football. I love the game of football. And that's similar to your question that you asked. That's why I keep on coming back. That's why I don't like to miss time. That's why I don't like letting players down, because I want to be a guy that somebody can lean on. No matter what is going on, injuries happen and things like that. I want people to say, hey, Morgan Moses is going to show up on Sunday. He might have got banged up. He's going to show up on Sunday. Just give him some time. So I don't know what's going to go on, but at the end of the day, I know I'm focused on what I can bring to the team and what I can do, and however I can help. That's the way I'm gonna go.
Coach Shaver, Baltimore Sun. You mentioned wanting to play meaningful football. I think looking back at your career, you've been on one playoff team. I know this past season in Baltimore didn't end in the playoffs, but just how much of a consideration was that for you to be joining the team that's probably going to be among the Super Bowl contenders?
It's a great feeling. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight, right? It starts now. Working out, eating healthy, taking care of the body. So when you get here, get here when the season starts, preseason, training camp, you're ready to roll, right? So it's a marathon. It's not a race. It's a marathon. And I think over the last couple of years in my career, I really tried to say, hey, if I'm gonna take a step from A to B, I want to make sure I don't have to backtrack back to A, right? So, nothing happens fast. Nothing happens. You don't just skip steps, without having to come back. So I try to make sure every step that I take is a valuable step, And so for me, obviously this franchise has a history of being in the playoffs, year after year. And then obviously with all the injuries that happened last year, things happen. But this is not, this is not an organization that's not a playoff ready team. They have all the pieces. You see them working in free agency. They'll be working in the draft, and I'm just excited to be here and be a part of it. So, like I said, I'm ready to get rolling. I'm ready to get around the young guys, however I can help. I'm ready to get around, Ronnie Stanley. He's an outstanding football player. I've talked to him before. So I'm just excited, man, of the pieces that they have here already and the pieces that they're going to bring in to prepare us for this season.
Baltimore Sun. We've been talking about right tackle, but if injury circumstances did push you to the left side for a stretch, are you equally comfortable there? I know you played there in the past.
Hey, look, man, sometimes, you just got to throw yourself in the water and just know that you can swim, right? So, if it happens, obviously I played left tackle before, and it's just about adapting, like I said, I've had some great offensive line coaches. Coach Jody, he said he's talked to some of the all-line coaches. I've had Bill Callahan's, I've had John Masco, and all those guys train you to play multiple positions because you don't know. Obviously you can only carry but so many offensive linemen in game day. And I've been a part of teams where you lose 3, and then it's a shuffle, and you got to play guard, and you got to play tackle, and you might not have got work on it. during out the week, but it's just how it goes, and you got to be prepared. So, I think, knowing the game of football, learning different positions, but also learning your position and understanding what everybody else is doing is the big part, to be able to, switch positions like that. Because things happen, you guys, we've seen it this year, this past season with the team, with all the injuries and things like that. People have to shuffle, because at the end of the day, other teams don't really care, right? You just got to go out there and perform. So, the coach's job is to put the game plan out there, and the job for the players is to go execute.
Much was made last year, obviously, about the injuries you guys had at tackle and some of the things you had to do to kind of patch it up and move forward. How important was it for you to see kind of depth and stability added at those spots? And I don't want to say how much easier does it make your job, but how comforting is it to know Morgan's kind of his career and how his consistency and durability?
That's huge. I mean, like I said, his body of work explains a lot of things to everyone. I mean, just look at his consistency, his availability, his dependability, and when you have that, that helps you build your line, because you have guys out there every day getting better. So if he's out there every day and you have your whole group out there every day, we're all going to get better. Coach, player, player, coach. And all of a sudden, you start developing a nice offensive line. So he has a lot of those qualities that we're looking for, and he's displayed them. So this is huge for offensive line play. And like I said, the statistics that you've seen, I mean, you don't see that happen with offensive linemen much in the NFL. So it's a credit to him. And I've studied him way back when he's coming out of Virginia. And I also know he had to go to Fort Union. So if you look at him, he is an overachiever. He is going to work. He's going to drive. He's going to find a way to get things done. And then look at his career in the NFL, how he's just continued to climb the ladder, or as you say, climb the mountain. So we're excited about having him here, because I just see nothing but outstanding things for him. And he's been exposed to all these things in the NFL already as a blocker. Okay, now he gets to do a little bit more with our terminology, our ways, but if he knows how to block power, guess what? He knows how to block power. So we're going to have him blocking a bunch of power.
Cordell Woodland, WBAA. You mentioned you blocked for quite a few quarterbacks, none like Lamar Jackson. How excited are you to block for a guy like him, and what are the adjustments or challenges you think there are with blocking for a guy that's as mobile as he is?
Well, I think, I don't think it's challenging blocking for a guy as mobile as him, number one, because I think that's an advantage, right? He's an elite quarterback because not only can he throw the ball, he can run, he dissects defense. And defense, when you look at, the offense of the Baltimore Ravens, you have to account for that guy back there. He's another runner. It takes another DB, another safety in the box. And at the time, you get your receiver group together, boom, the 50-yard touchdown down the seams or the posts, whatever the case, play action. We talk about power. It's the same thing. You want to run the ball. When you run the ball successfully, what comes after that? Play action. So I think the biggest thing for me, I'm excited, obviously, because, the talent back there, but I'm also excited because I know it's a good group of guys that I'm going to be in the room with. And I think, for me personally is that, I want to be coached like the rookies are going to be coached, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like I can still learn. There's still more football out there for me to learn. I'm not a guy that's sitting here like, hey, I played 9 years, I know it all. There's always room for improvement. There's some things that I didn't excel in as much as I wanted to last season that I already have put down that I need to work on. And hopefully, coach, sitting down with coach, I know coach is he's going to grind it. He said, hey, we got to work on this. We got to work on this. And when you get that attitude, especially, going into year 9, you got that attitude, that chip on your shoulder to get better, knowing that you can get better every day. The sky is still the limit. It's crazy to say at year 9 that I still feel like, I have a lot of football play left to play. And I feel like, there's room for growth. And when you feel like that, it's untouchable, man. You know what I'm saying? When you feel that way about yourself and you know that you can come in and play at a high level, but not just play at a high level, but make the other guys better around you. Because of the knowledge of the game, we talk, we talk, Coach said it already. He said, look, he's played for 5 quarterbacks a year. I've seen everything about the league, So there's nothing that truly really phases me, So like, yeah, I got to learn all right, what is his 3-step drop? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is his 5-step? What is his 7-step drop? When we go empty protection, what is he looking for? How can I help Lamar see the he's throwing an out route? Can I set the guy a little bit wider so he can see that it creates a lane so he can throw that ball in that lane? Those are things that, I think about, how can I help him? Like, how can I help him see the safety rotation and things like that? And that just comes with playing a lot of football over the course of the years. So I'm hoping that my knowledge of the game that I've been taught and that I've seen over the years, with coaches teaching and the offense that we have, Ronnie Stanley, all the guys that we have coming back, Mark Andrews, the great tight end, with that knowledge and put it together, I'm hoping that, it's going to be a great fit. I know it's going to be a great fit.
We'll do one more, guys.
Morgan. You want? Morgan, so I'm sure you've seen the highlight reel of Lamar over the years.
Yep.
You mentioned his 2019 campaign.
Oh, trust me, my boys watch it all the time on the iPads.
But you mentioned Ronnie. One of the things I remember him joking about a couple of years ago was, man, I'm running with Lamar downfield more than I ever have in my career. Are you prepared to do that?
Oh, man, look, when you got an electrifying player like that, you gravitate to that energy, right? And you start doing things that you didn't even know you could do, right? So I had a conversation with my sons yesterday. He said, Daddy, like you're getting old, but you're not slow. Like my son, like he brings me the realization all the time, like, and that's the beautiful thing about being able to play in the league and have children that understand it, right? No matter what, they're going to treat me like the best player in the league, right? But they're also going to be super, super straightforward. If I walk through the front door and I had a bad game, my son's going to say, Daddy, I don't know what you were doing, Daddy. And I automatically know, like, hey, man, I got to tighten up because if he know, everybody else know. So, it's exciting, man. Like I said, man, I've never played with a quarterback to that caliber. I mean, I played with good quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, I believe, I played with last year. It's going to be an outstanding quarterback. But, the game, when you have a quarterback like that, not only does it slow the game down, but it keeps defenses from doing all this other stuff, right? Because they have to pay attention to that guy that's back there. You look around the league at these quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks just stand still in one pocket, right? You got the ability to move the pocket with this guy. You got to, read options, whatever the case is. And like I said, he's just as as a runner he's a good thrower. So I'm excited just to be able to block for somebody like that, and I'm excited for what it brings. I know my kids are excited. My wife are excited. My kids, I know they're not going to wear my jersey. They're going to wear Lamar's jersey. And that's all cool. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited about being a part of a great family organization, and I'm just excited to get to work.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Congratulations.
Sure, you'll get a picture.